Hey everyone, I have week 26 here. We have our first column is definitely just review stuff that we've been doing since pretty much the beginning of the year. So these should be coming to us pretty naturally now. Our line plots, don't forget to check the key. Sometimes it's really small. So if it just look for the S, if you can't tell if that's a 1 or a 2, it just doesn't have an S there. So I knew that that was 1. One thing we want to make sure is you can write the word inches if you want to. You can put IN period, or you can put the two little lines like this. They look like quotation marks to me. But make sure that we put some kind of label to know that we're talking about inches there. The pea plants, when I looked at this the first time, I just looked at the question before I looked at the graph. And then I was like, how many pea plants? So I was actually looking here for pea plants, but then I was like, oh wait, those are inches. So I came back and read the title. This is why titles are so important on graphs. All of these are pea plants, but I have to look at the key. If you wrote 13, you need to go back. We're skip counting by 2s. And you can just skip count every single one. If you wanted to go 2 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2, you can do that. But just make sure you're skip counting by 2s either way. On this one, I really didn't have to count by hundreds because we're just looking for the busiest and the least busy days. And so I can just see visually. That's a great thing about a line plot that can really help. This is just one athlete, so I'm looking for 6 feet. I come to 6 feet. I count them. Now, when I have a word problem that says how many fewer, I'm actually taking the second part of the question and subtracting it from the first part of the question. If it says how many more, I would go first minus second. But so here I'm going 4 feet minus 5 feet. So just make sure that your children didn't try to do 2 minus 5. They're not going to be able to, they'll try to write 3, but just remembering that. Just like last week, I would highly suggest, I put mine on the front for you so that it could all be seen at one time. Now you can see I boxed here. My $50 is 50 cents. A lot of people don't even know what a $50 looks like. We talk about it a little bit at school, but I would highly suggest if you have any at home, some real ones, show them to your kids, because a lot of people that I know as adults don't even know that they exist. So, but I went and I found 100 cents and boxed it just so that I didn't have to start over. If I'm writing, I'm like, oh, that's $1 right there. Okay, now I'm counting now. Okay, I've got $1, 5, 10, 15, 20. That's 120 cents, 121, 122. Then if for some reason I lose track on my count, I don't have to start all over every single time. This one we got close to $2, but not quite. You can notice the little squiggly lines I put here. This is with the Harry money. Again, we have a link to the video on how to do that on our website. Make sure that your children are writing both ways, with the cent sign and with the dollar sign and the decimals and the decimal point. So we have lots and lots of coins on this last one. So again, you're going to need to make sure that we're probably writing this on the back. It's a lot. Or if it's easier, get a piece of scrap paper. Now, on our labeling the minutes, I actually put a 00 because we start a new hour. I know that there's 60 minutes in a full hour, but if we were writing the time on a clock, we would not put 4:60. We would put 4 o'clock. And so then we want to make sure that that's a 00 there. And also right here that we have 05, not just 5, because when we're writing a time and it is really small, they're going to have to write small. But when we're writing times, we have to put those 2 digits in the time after the colon. Now, your kids do not have to have the exact same things that I put as things that they can do in the AM. That's after any time after midnight and before noon. And so they can think of things that they do in the morning. It might be things y'all do on Saturdays, but I just thought these are things that would fit for all of us in our schedule when we're here at school. We're writing the clock hands. Make sure that you can really tell the difference between your hour hand and your minute hand. Your minute hand needs to come all the way down to the edge of the clock. We've practiced this in class, and so it is touching that black rim of the edge of the clock. And it's really important when it's a time like this, because we need to know which minute hand, or which one is it. Is it like 6:25 or is it 5:30? And so really be careful to make sure your hour hand is short. Again, you might have totally different answers than me on this one. That is okay. But these are some things that, from a school perspective, that we have in the afternoons, or it's post meridium or post midday, that we would see. So anything afternoon or starting at noon up until 11:59, right before midnight. And then right here we've got 4:45. I always try to look at my hour hand first. Anytime, I'm not going to go to the 5 o'clock yet. It has not reached the 5 o'clock. And then I can count by fives all the way to the 9. If I know my times, my multiplication, I can say 9 times 5 equals 45. But we've been practicing skip counting. And also, if your kids are having a hard time with that, there's a website for, or a video on our website, Miss Beeman and My's website. If you go to my homepage and click on videos, you can find those skip counting videos on the first 6 weeks. So I will leave this to where you can see it and freeze it. Y'all have a great week, and I am looking forward to seeing y'all next week.